This past weekend in Austin, Texas, near where I live, we had a tragedy where an individual shot a bunch of Austonians, including several University of Texas students, at a bar on what we call West 6th Street, in an area that I frequented often when I was in law school, a little less often these days, but it's an area that's a fairly normal place for people to go, not generally perceived as dangerous. And this past Saturday night, early Sunday morning, even as I believe I was returning home from San Antonio Rodeo, where I'd been there, I wake up in the morning to find out that there were 3 people who had been killed, and one of whom was a shooter, and then later a fourth person would die, a third victim. And it was an unnecessary, senseless act, but it's compounded by not just normal violence, but why this individual was here in the first place. And I think we've got to wrestle with some serious questions about who we allow into this country and why. The individual who killed these students, by the way, there were multiple others who were shot, having surgeries. One young woman, young student who was shot multiple times in her abdomen. Another young man who was shot in his head. So it's not just the 3 dead victims, other people who are hurt, other people who are traumatized by it. And the individual who did it was wearing a Property of Allah sweatshirt. Had a Quran in the back seat of the car that he had traveled in, was wearing an Iranian flag t-shirt under the Property of Allah sweatshirt. And what we know about him is that he came here from Senegal in 2000, overstayed his visa. 2006, he obtains LPR, or legal permanent residency status, under the Bush administration. I'm going to be an equal opportunity basher of administrations who have failed to secure our border properly, and did so on the back of supposedly a marriage to an American citizen. Fast forward to 2012, under Obama, he gets full citizenship, which Obama was handing out like candy, and then tries to get status, LPR status, for 2 additional women, allegedly women he was marrying. I don't know whether in succession or at the same time. All I know is he was trying to do that. Fast forward, he was arrested for a hit and run alleged in 2022. And my fundamental question is why are we importing people who are deeply at odds with the values of our country and Western civilization? Why are we doing that? Why have we done that exponentially in the wake of the attacks of 9/11, 2001? It doesn't make any sense. This is avoidable. This man didn't need to be in the United States, who does not share our values, clearly was interested in serving his convictions for Iran and radical Islamism more than his commitment to this country, peace, and our rule of law.